Patrick, thanks again for taking the time to do this with us here on Golf Talk Canada. Before we jump into the nuts and bolts here on the Spider Tour Series, hey, this is on the heels of the TP Reserve. Now we're launching a new look of one of the most iconic brands in the history of the game. It has to be an exciting time for you.
Extremely excited. Today's the day. We're bringing out a new Spider line. We've got two familiar shapes, two new shapes. But boy, it seems like over the past few years, every company has been making a Spider in that shape. But here we are. We've this has been years in the making with our putter team, and we're excited to bring this to market, Mark.
Well, the greatest compliment they say is imitation. So we'll leave it at that, certainly. You brought up the iconic shape. With the Spider Tour series, obviously the shape pops out on a couple of the models. There's also things like Pure Roll, True Path Alignment. These are things that over the last few generations of Spiders we've come accustomed to. Those are in here. We see them packed in here. What's new to this tour series?
Mark, there's a like every product, we take it apart, we dissect it, we take tour feedback, and we come to market with a club that's going to work for players on tour and players like us. The Spider really started, I think, when we showed Jason Day that red Spider. We were up on the green at Riviera. This was a time when Jason Day was reaching number one in the world, and as we bring lots of players into our kingdom here in Carlsbad, and we get lots of great players, no one rolls the rock better than Jason Day, and it had a lot to do with the Pure Roll. It had a lot to do with how that shape of Spider provides a boxier look that gave them a really way where he could just set it down on the ground, and the putter almost swings its swell. If it has those high MOI properties with the weight drug all the way back out with those movable weights. So there's a lot of new technology under the hood here with Spider. First off, we took with working with our irons team, we are using a one-piece construction for all these models. And that is taking a technology that we use in our irons called thin wall undercuts. So what we have in this new Spider franchise is a one-piece material, and it is thinned out in areas where we're able to push weight to the extremities. And we're also using our Taylormade swing weighting system weights that are, you can find them in our drivers. We've been using those TSS weights in our drivers, and we're placing those weights in each one of those Spider models in different positions. So you'll see the kind of jet engines in the back with the Spider Tour, and you'll see in the Spider X that those weights are placed further back. And then the newer models, you'll see that those TSS weights are further forward. And they're all giving different CG properties, different levels of stability, and they're all going to swing a little differently.
So how I understand this is we're taking iron technology, we're taking driver technology, things we have learned over the years through research and development, and we are using them now in putter design to create not only extremely high levels of MOI, but moving around how the weight can work if you're a straight back, straight through, if you like a little arc, or for that matter, kind of leading down this new road of counterbalance. We've seen it already at the Open Championship.
You have, we had a winning putter out there with counterbalance grips. We're excited to show in this launch, we will have in the Spider Tour, we will have a 38-inch counterbalance model that'll be featured with a Super Stroke 3.0 shape. That's that bigger Super Stroke grip that was been very popular on tour. We've seen many players use that longer grip. So you will see that at stores in the Spider Tour model as well.
All right, so we have 4 new models right now, a 5th one coming next spring. We'll hold that back as a teaser till the end for now. But currently we have Spider Tour, which is going to look very familiar to the Spider fans out there. That is very much that iconic look. Spider Tour X, which is a model that has become popular over the last few years, certainly a shape that is extremely recognizable to Taylormade and Spider fans. And then Spider Tour Z and Spider Tour V. to me, those jumped out right away because for me personally, those are different shapes in the Spider family.
Well, over the past couple of years, Mark, you've seen different shapes from Taylormade. We had our Taylormade Spider GT. This year in market, we had our GTX. Um, Taking a step back, when we first came out with Spider X, we still wanted to have a stable putter, but give it more of a modern look, give it more of a stable, a streamlined look per se. Converting a blade player, everyone knows that the mallet will offer a level of forgiveness on misstruck putts. What we found in data is that Rory McIlroy's distance control really improved by converting into a mallet. And that's why we still see him going back to Old Trusty with Spider X. It helps him with his distance control. In this new Spider Tour, I'm excited because we're using True Path in that Spider Tour shape. And it's the True Path that really excites the tour players. Scotty Scheffler, I know that he's been experimenting with spiders. And number one was he loves the way True Path helps him line up. When we work with guys like Colin Morikawa, even on his blade putter, Pure Roll is the number one technology that he says, you got to get whatever you make for me, you guys, just keep my insert. I love the performance of Pure Roll. So all those technologies are purposeful, and they help all players.
All right, speaking of tour feedback, the golf world's eyes are headed to Rome, right? This is the one we've been waiting for. We've got tailor-made players on both sides of the fence here, whether you're cheering for Europe or cheering for Team USA. Could we see a Tour Series model show up at the Ryder Cup? What's the feedback been like instantly from Team TaylorMade?
Yeah, the moment in time when Bucky Coe, our putter rep, went out to Chicago for the BMW Championship, and that was we gave all of our stable of players, that being Fleetwood, McIlroy, Colin, and Scotty, we gave them a slug of a lot of different prototypes of these Spider Tour models. You saw Scotty Scheffler put the Spider Tour X into play. We made him a special prototype with further weight out forward. He kind of desired a more of a forward CG style, so we made him a special model. But all these players left the facilities at the FedEx Cup playoffs with spiders in their hands, and we're excited to see what will happen up in Rome. But this is a different time for TaylorMade to be launching a putter, and really, this is our opportunity to get off to a great start for next year. This is a time when they're going to tinker, they're going to experiment with some different putters. They know what their performance look like throughout this summer, and this is a good time for them to experiment or change. So yeah, we're excited for two familiar shapes, but we've got two brand new shapes, and the V and the Z. The way I think of it is the Z is the model that has the wings, and the V has more of that streamlined look. Tommy Fleetwood, gentleman on the other side of the pond, who had a great tournament at Wentworth, and he's one of the hottest players in golf right now. He provided some great feedback on our two new models, the Z and the V. He almost, when you look at the Z, that would be the model that has the wings. What we've done is we've provided an area where most of the putter lies low to the ground. A lot of the putter sits on the ground itself. And what that does is it really helps the player kind of set it and forget it. It's almost like you just kind of set it down, you're lined up, you get that visual alignment cue from True Path. We've armed these putters with a brand new double bend shaft, really shows great face angle, about a half offset on the putter. So definitely take a look at the new shaft structure that we have in our face balance models. It's a new double bend. That was picked up by Fleetwood. He said, boy, I think he said on when we had him on camera, like everybody should putt with this putter. And then the V model that does not feature the wings, he kind of paid homage to it, almost helps him rotate the putter. And that was interesting that he picked up on that, because if you turn that putter over, you see that those TSS weights are slugged all the way up close to the face. And that's what's kind of giving him that more rotation.
All right, before we say goodbye, Patrick, because that's a great segue. First, quickly, My Spider, I'm assuming at some point down the road is going to be available in the tour series.
We will actually on our website today. We are launching the My Spider Tour and also My Spider X. So not only one but two franchises there. Both shapes will be available in that personalized website.
All right, we're going to have you back on in the spring because in the spring, Spider Tour S is going to launch. It's an oversized version that will also be available in a counterbalance model. I've got my eyes all over this one, but we're going to hold that back as a teaser. Before we say goodbye, do you have any predictions? USA, Europe? Are the Americans going to break the 30-year drought on foreign soil?
It sounds like it's a hilly golf course. It sounds like this is going to be close. That Europe team looks really strong, but I have to say, go USA.
You got to go with the home squad, right? You have no choice. Listen, I'm cheering for Team USA as well because, hey, Canadians, there's not like there's any of us playing, and I'm Italian, and they didn't manage to put an Italian on this team, Patrick. So, hey, let's go red, white, and blue. You have yourself a wonderful week, and thanks so much for taking the time to do this. Canada's so excited about this new product. Can't wait to get it in my hands and try it myself.
We appreciate you, Mark. Look forward to teaming up with you sometime soon.